With Deltarune Chapter 5 on the way, I was going through videos of everyone's predictions and came across a video that was extremely compelling and interesting. The video in question was by Soyadesu about Des being a human, and she goes over all the details that suggest this, as well as parallels to Chris. Now, I won't go over all of the details she brought up, so definitely go watch her video. One thing she does mention in passing is the idea that Chris's soul may actually be Des's, and that gave me an idea that Des may actually be none other than the vessel we see all the way in Chapter 1. So before I get into Desel theory, first we gotta talk about how Des is possibly a human, since that's what is kind of the crux of the vessel idea. So jumping right into things, there's random clues like the fact Des has a closet of human shoes that suggests that Des isn't a deer monster. But most of the evidence is actually found in the fact that Chris and Des were heavily paralleled. First, we know Chris had a close relationship with Des, in contrast to Noelle, who they aren't as close with and basically stopped talking to Noelle after Des disappeared. Des and Chris are both clearly the black sheep of their families, as Des's room contrasts so much with the rest of the holiday house, but specifically Noelle's room. Noelle and Asriel both have neat spaces, made beds, trophies on the wall, etc., while Chris and Des have unmade beds, 0 trophies hanging up, and in Chris's Dark World room, they have stars just like Des's room. There's way more evidence than what I'm presenting, so if you want more, please go check out Soyadesu's video, because seriously, it's good. Oh, and this isn't in the script, because I forgot to write it, but if you believe in Des Night, Des and Chris hit the same poses. Like, literally every single pose is a complete parallel. I just wanted to make all the points to drive in the fact that Des parallels Chris, and what better way to connect the two further if both of them were the only humans in Hometown. Now, it may seem implausible for Des to be a human, if we weren't already told that a human we literally play as used to wear monster horns to fit in. If there's a precedent for humans wearing monster horns, it would be possible for a presumed monster silhouette to be a human with monster horns, or antlers in this case. Now, if Des is human, then that means that she has a soul. And since we know that there had to be Lightners before the fun game came about, then they would need a soul to dispel the dark fountains. And Chris would have been pretty little to be a part of the OG fun game, since Des had to disappear when Chris and Noelle were very little, at most 10 years old. Now, of course, the soul in Chris currently isn't theirs. Then it has to be someone else's, and since it most likely is a human soul, we can put 2 and 2 together and make the soul the player controls Des's soul. Now, using that logic, we then end up with the idea that Des is soulless. And what do we create at the beginning of Chapter 1 to house a soul? The vessel. So if we made the vessel for a specific soul, and then we can assume the vessel could possibly be Des. And this isn't too far-fetched to say, as the vessel is clearly a goner, one of Gaster's followers from Undertale, but it also seems like it isn't just a one-off thing. It seems extremely important. Now, a lot of people may think otherwise, and there are people who think that the vessel was discarded completely and won't come up in the game again. However, I think there's evidence that it will come back. And that is for one reason. The machine made to thrash our own ass has consistently been present in almost every chapter, and for all intents and purposes, it should have been a one-off joke left behind in Chapter 1, yet it kept coming back. In Chapter 2, it becomes part of the final boss with Queen. And in Chapter 3, Tenna quizzes us on it in one of his boards. How can the thrash machine appearing consistently after Chapter 1, the chapter that was pushing the narrative that our choices don't matter, not suggest that our choices do matter in some way? Coming full circle, the machine we made to kick our own ass in Chapter 1 parallels the vessel creation at the start of the chapter, and is meant to subtly tell us that our vessel will return at some point. And wouldn't it be interesting that when the knight removes its helmet, and we find out that it was Des the whole time, if you subscribe to Des Knight obviously, it would be an even crazier bombshell. Wait, she was both a human and the very human we just started at the beginning of the game. The game even has data that the vessel has defaults that get set if you don't start from Chapter 1. The vessel will return, and the vessel will be December Holiday. And I think if this becomes the case somehow, Chris will give up the soul to bring Des back, sacrificing themselves. Crazy? Probably. But if Des is revealed to be a human come Chapter 5's release, then I wouldn't be surprised if she was the vessel the whole time. So this video may be poorer quality than my others because I literally came up with this the Friday before Chapter 5's release, and as of writing the script, it's Saturday. So I'm guessing I cut corners in the editing process, which is whatever, and the theory may also be all discombobulated. I wrote this in a day. But regardless, I wanted to get it out before Chapter 5 because I want to be proven right if I'm on the right track. And if not, it's whatever, because either way, I know Tricky Tony cooked either way. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, or if I was right, if you're seeing this after Chapter 5, then consider liking and subscribing, and leave a comment down below whether I was dead wrong or right on the money. And as always, thanks for watching.